What is up? What is up? Early people. Fuck with it. Can you guys hear me okay? If you can hear me okay, just put a one in the chat. Just put a one in the chat. All right, cool. We're gonna wait a little bit to give people time to log on before we get started. You feel me? No, da, 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 da. Appreciate you guys for hopping on. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's having a good day, great week. Y'all bear with me on this Zoom stuff. I gotta get right with this shit. And pardon my language, I cuss like a sailor, so I might say some things that may say is unprofessional, but it's just the way I talk. It's how I express myself. But yeah, we're gonna wait a couple minutes to give some people, probably about 5 minutes to give some folks time to log on. And then we'll go ahead and get started. Got some people coming in. Let me go ahead. And you guys don't be shy, you got cameras on your phones, you got webcams and all this and that. Turn them on. I don't care. Turn them on. Show yourself. Hey, Tara. Thank you.
Hi, Ty.
Yeah, turn the cameras on. This was all about. This was why they made Zoom. If they didn't make Zoom, we could have just been on our phones with this. Turn the cameras on, unless you're doing something inappropriate. But other than that, turn them on if you can. I know some people probably, working and things like that, so I can understand it. But if you have the ability to turn your camera on and you can have your cameras on, that makes the whole thing a little bit more engaging, at least for me. I don't want to be looking at names on the screen. So do me that solid. Because if I got mine on, you should have yours on. Because y'all would hate it if I'd had mine turned off. So turn the cams on. Thank you. Thank you kindly.
Are you recording this, Ty?
I am. Yes, I am.
Will you be able to share it with us after?
I will.
Thank you.
I definitely will. I have to figure out how. I probably got to go through everybody's email and send it in an email blast. I have to figure that part of it out. So I never done this before. So bear with me as I will learn how to do all this technology stuff on the back end. My systems aren't set up for this. Talk to the people. All right, fam. 2 o'clock. About to get started in a couple minutes. Make sure you click the link. Join the Zoom call. We are going live right now. Put it on. Got some beautiful people in here ready to learn and get right. So see you on the inside. All right. Fuck that. So I got a quick question. So anybody who has the trial or tried it out or already has the software, put a one in the chat. That'll let me know kind of who I'm talking to. Anybody who has some experience knows how to maneuver it or whatever. Okay, got a couple people, Rachel, Maurice, Tara. Okay, cool. Okay, so if you have it, just put a 1 in the chat. That let me know kind of who I'm speaking to. Great, 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 great. So that way you guys, you already have it. You can follow along and kind of, if you already have questions and stuff, then go ahead and save those for the time when it shows up, and then or the end if we don't go over something that's that you need answered. But we about to go ahead and get started. I think this is recording now. Okay, it is recording. So sweet. I'll do speaker view. How do you do that? I don't know this, but all right. So let's go and get started. Anybody who misses it, they just miss it. Appreciate you guys for jumping on time. I'm going to try not to hold you guys too long. Sometimes I can get a little bit long-winded when it comes to answering questions, etc., and explaining things, because I like to make sure that everybody understands. It really overstands the concepts or overstands what's going on. So I'll try to speed through this. I know it's Friday, but other than that, I got a couple housekeeping rules. Main thing is keep your mics on mute while I'm going through it, just so it doesn't distract anybody else who's trying to learn and trying to listen. And then the next thing is, if you have any questions about something, I would prefer to use the raise hand feature on Zoom. Just raise your hand and then I'll address it and get to you. Because sometimes if I go in the chat, that kind of slows up the whole process. So if you use the raise hand feature and then you can just ask your question live, that'd be great. And then if you have any additional questions that aren't pertaining to what we're going over at that moment, just go ahead and jot those down and save those for later, because we're going to do a Q&A at the end of it. So we can address anything that, that we may have missed or anything that you didn't understand at that moment. But the main thing is, if you have questions about anything, don't hesitate to ask it. I want to make sure you guys understand exactly how this thing works. And pretty much, just kind of give you an overview of everything. It's just going to be my version of kind of how I use the software, how I use the platform, the features that I see best fit, things that I love, things that I've found the most value out of, and things of that nature. So and then also the setup and and everything else as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen. I'm not gonna bore you guys with a freaking a slideshow throughout the whole presentation. I do have one, kind of briefly, but I'll just share my screen really quick for that. Just to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about here, and then we'll kind of go along. Is this sharing the right screen? What are you guys seeing right now? Are you seeing this? Okay, I think we're good. All right, let me see. But this is going to be short. This thing right here is short, so don't worry about being bored with this stuff. All right, so the REsimpli demo. Can you guys see the screen? If you can see the screen, put a 1 in the chat or just give me some feedback. I can't even see the chat. See, I don't know how to use this Zoom stuff, but whatevs. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. So demo. The agenda. So pretty much we're gonna go over why I switched, my favorite features. We're gonna do a software walkthrough. So the software walkthrough, I'm gonna pretty much share my screen and walk through the software. A lot of people are more visual learners. I am. I feel like you learn best when you can actually see things versus somebody just talking to you, and things of that nature. The cost of the platform if you don't already have it, and then some additional Q&A, and then the sign up thing at the end. So why I switched? So I switched to REsimpli back in December. I was using, my platforms that I used previous to REsimpli was I used a Podio, I used Investor Fuse, then I went back to Podio again, and I used Podio for probably about 2 years. And then at the end of December, like beginning of December of 2023, I switched to REsimpli. Now, I didn't know about REsimpli platform. I kind of heard about it, and then I kind of started looking. So the things that made me switch really, Podio was a little weird for me. It was a little bit too much. I had to pay a developer $3,000 to set it up the way that I wanted to set it up. And then pretty much for me, Podio wasn't built for what we do. You kind of had to create it and build it out yourself, and it could get a little bit overwhelming and complex. So I kind of wanted something different, especially when it comes to bringing new people on to learn the platform, to learn the system. Podio is a little bit difficult, especially when I have my acquisitions people or even VAs that was trying to figure it out. So what I did was I switched. It was reason why it's an all-in-one platform. For those of you who know, it has a lot of different features in it. With the platform, I can click to dial. I don't have to utilize smartphone and integrate it from smartphone and all these different things to dial my leads and follow up my leads. And then there's a lot of other features that makes it more of a one-stop shop, and we'll go into that a little bit as we go along. I love the user interface. As you guys will see, if you haven't seen it yet, you'll see shortly. And I believe the cost is pretty much favorable or consistent with everything if you were to combine it into one platform, right? So you got your DocuSigns, then you got your other dialing platform to follow up, like the smartphone integration with Podio. You got different softwares and platforms. At the end of the day, all that stuff adds up. And for me, keeping it all in one centralized location is very valuable to me, because now I don't have to have a login for this one, an account for this one, an account for that, an account for that, right? Everything's kind of the same way. So I kind of found the costs were somewhat comparable, maybe a little bit less or more, depending on what level your business is at and what plan that you get with REsimpli. Another reason I liked it is built specifically for real estate investors, by real estate investors. So the owner of REsimpli, he's a real estate investor. He currently invests, he still invests. He invests in Indiana, things like that. And, you know, he's built this specifically for us. Podio was not built for real estate investors, right? So they didn't know exactly, you know, with Podio, you have to create everything you needed. And here it already has everything you need to operate if you're trying to do wholesaling, if you're doing fix and flips, and even if you have rentals. So anything to deal with buying and selling properties, whether you hold and fix and flipping, rentals, wholesaling, whatever it is, novations, hotel, whatever your exit strategy is, this platform is made for that. They're constantly updating the platform, and that's what I really love about the software. Some people probably had it years ago where it wasn't. It's definitely not what it was years ago. They're constantly updating and adding new features and things like that. And what I really love about that is these updates are coming from the users, right? So the users are the ones requesting certain features, and what they do is they review it and see if everybody or the majority can find value from that, right? So they're constantly updating. Like I would say sometimes every month or at least once a quarter, they're updating the platform. The customer support has been phenomenal. They'll email you. You can reach out to them through through the chat. They respond pretty quickly from my experience. The only thing is they don't respond on the weekends because they don't work on the weekends, right? But other than that, during the week, Monday through Friday, regular work, business hours, they're very responsive and and they will assist you with whatever you need. So if you need any questions about anything in the platform, trying to figure out why something's not working, why this is doing this or why it's not doing what it should be doing, contact support. They always will find an answer or a solution for you. Now, for everybody who needs a contact for support, the best person to reach out to is Danielle. And I'm going to drop her email in the chat so you guys can have it. Danielle at REsimpli.com. All right. She's the one that kind of is the lead of the support team, support staff. So she'll get back to you quickly if need be, depending on what your situation may be. So typically what I do, I'll send a message through the chat, see if somebody responds to me. 9 times out of 10, they will get back to me before I need to reach out to Danielle. But if I need to escalate something, I'm going to send an email to Danielle. Okay. And the last thing is the community, right? This platform has a Facebook group with people, with the users, and people are always assisting each other with ideas, concepts, all these different things as a community on this platform, right? You know, people are requesting features, and the owner is actually always on the Facebook groups as well. If anybody has a question about something, if something's not working the way it should, he'll comment, and he's always active in the Facebook groups also. And then another thing is the mastermind calls. They have weekly mastermind calls. I was just on it on Tuesday talking about cold calling, but they always are bringing people who have experience in certain avenues or certain aspects of the business every single week to have mastermind calls at every Tuesday at 2 p.m. for an hour. And they're going to be going over different topics, different subjects. And then, on top of the mastermind calls, he provides updates and stuff like that of future updates that's going to be coming soon to come. So, he'll have those updates and those Zoom calls as well. But they have a whole file of all the calls that they had for previous dates. If you missed something, you can go back and look at all these calls and gain the value that you need. And that's pretty much like why I switched. I just like all these different things. Now, some of my favorites feature. Look at that. Put copy. I couldn't even do it right. I didn't even do this right. Look at this mess. But anyways, so some of my favorite features, the main one is the drip automation. I love the drip automation. And we'll go into that as well in a little bit more detail when we go into the demo. But the drip automation that allows you to send text messages, ringless voicemails, direct mails, letters, postcards, set up tasks to call a seller, emails, all these different things automatically while you're doing other things in your business, right? So let's say you have a lead that's not interested in selling today or not interested in selling for another couple months. Well, put a drip automation on that seller. That way you can focus on the people that are ready to rock and roll right now versus trying to continuously manually follow up with that particular lead. You can continuously do whatever you have to do that's more priority, and then the drip automation will make sure that contact gets touched. So we'll go over that. The KPI tracking. Love the KPI tracking, and we'll go over that as well. The click to call and the single line dialer feature for follow up. Like I said, this is already built within the platform, so there's no need to integrate something from smartphone or integrate something and all that, because the whole integration thing is annoying. I get it. The website hosting platform. So what I like about this too, a lot of people, I need a website. Well, you can create landing pages for buyers and you can create landing pages for sellers. So they'll host it. All you pretty much need to do is get you a domain from GoDaddy or Google or Yahoo Business or wherever you need to get your domain from. Buy the domain, set up your buyer and seller website platform and your landing pages. So if you're doing marketing such as PPC or anything like that, or SEO, online marketing, you could have the seller, and I'll show you all that stuff as well. And it's templates and all that stuff. Financials. You have accounting and bookkeeping within the platform, which is I find very valuable for me because that's one of the sides of the business that I slack on or that I lack on. Being able to manage and keep up with the accounting and bookkeeping was a pain in my ass last year and a year before. But by utilizing this platform and using the feature, I'm able to track my transactions and have the profits and loss sheets and all these different things. And I'll show you that too. And then organization, being organized. There's, you can store all your buyers in here, and you can also store all your vendors, right? Like your contractors, your title companies, your closing attorneys. What else? Home Depot, whatever the vendors are that you use on a consistent basis, you can store those in there and be able to contact them as you need be. So let me go ahead and do the walkthrough now. I'm tired of talking about that stuff. All right, cool. All right, so this is the dashboard right here. This is what happens. This is what it looks like when you first log in, first sign up, right? This is your home page. This is whenever you sign onto your screen, this is what you're going to get. Now, I'm going to walk you guys through the very beginning because the very beginning is very vital and very important. Now, with anything or any platform that you use, the setup is going to be what's most important. So if you set it up right in the beginning, everything will be right in the end, all right? And as you go along. So the first thing you need to do when you sign up, is you need to register for your 10 DLC, okay? Your 10 DLC. Now, it'll be over here in the top left-hand corner and let you know if you need to register for it or not. So let me go to the settings really quick. I can close this out. Go to the settings. What's the take all day? It doesn't move this slow. For some reason it bumped me out. Probably got a lot going on, but basically the 10 DLC, you need to register for that if you're going to be sending out text messages, no matter what. I don't care what platform you're on. If you're doing any kind of SMS communication, you know, in order to not get your numbers marked flagged and all these different things, and in order to get your numbers to send your messages to send out to the sellers or whatever, you have to get approved for the 10 DLC. Now, the requirements for getting approved for the 10 DLC is you got to have LLC, EIN, all these different factors, and a website, right? And a domain. Like I said, REsimpli, they have the ability to get you the website so you can use their website, because on the website, you have to have an opt-in form or a form where people can opt in. That's what they're going to be looking at. So when I logged on, when I first started and got my account set up, it took probably about 2 to 3 days to get my 10 DLC set up. You cannot send out, you can send messages, but they will not get delivered if your 10 DLC is not set up, okay? So make sure you do that. That should be the very first thing you do when you sign up. Now, once you get your 10 DLC set up, the next thing is you want to get your phone numbers, okay? You can go ahead and set up, manage your users and all these different things. Like, you guys can go through these settings on your own. I'm just going to go through the most important settings. Like, you set up your markets, whatever the case may be, but your phone numbers is what's going to be the next important thing to do, right? So once you get your 10 DLC approved, you need to go ahead and buy phone numbers. Depending on the plan that you got, you get some that's included with the plan, but other than that, you have to pay, I think, like $1 or $2 a month per number. But once you get your you got to get your numbers. Get your numbers, and once you get your numbers, it's probably going to take 1 to 2 days, depending on the number, in order for it to be linked, right? And the reason why that is because it has to be approved by the carrier, right? So the carriers have to approve the numbers. Now, what I found happened to me was when the number took more than 2 days to show this link status, I just deleted that number and got a new one. And then that number was linked faster. So for whatever reason, some of these phone numbers may not get linked as fast as others. So if it takes longer than 2 to 3 days for a number to get linked, delete it, get another one, and it should be good. Okay? So manage your numbers, get your numbers right. So now you done got your 10 DLC set up. Now you done linked your numbers. The next thing is, this is how I set up my campaigns, right? This is how I prefer it. It keeps me organized. I do all my campaigns by the lead type or the list type. So as you can see, fire damage, expired listings, code violation, referrals, water shutoff, probate, absentee, pre-foreclosures, absentee vacant, tax delinquent, right? And I have a phone number linked to each one of those campaigns. My primary source of marketing is cold calling. So whatever your primary source of cold calling is, you can go ahead and of marketing is, you change it in this column here. But me personally, to stay organized so I can know, okay, where my leads are coming from, I don't care what city they're in or what zip code they're in. Me personally, I operate in one market. So if you're operating in multiple markets, you could probably do a code violation, let's say Florida, and then you have that Florida phone number. And the reason why it's important to have these numbers to match that market is because this is going to be the phone number that you will be following up with that lead with. That will be your acquisitions phone number. Okay. So for me, I have all of my campaigns and I only market in the state of Georgia. So I don't care the county. All I know is if it comes from a code violation, I'll know that because I have it set up the right way, right? And I have it set up that way as well from my marketing, right? So I do cold calling. So with the cold calling, I use call tools and I have it integrated into this platform. So with call tools, I have the same campaign set up here. And then whenever a lead comes in from a particular campaign, so let's say if I get a pre-foreclosure lead that comes in from cold calling, it'll come in and then it'll go ahead and integrate and match up with this. And now this phone number will be my acquisitions phone number for that cold call lead. Any questions? That makes sense? We good? Okay, cool. So you want to make sure that these numbers are set up correctly. All right. Organized. And it's important because now that leads into your KPIs, right? So now, and I'll get into the KPIs in a little bit. When leads come in, I know how many leads are coming in from pre-foreclosure. When deals are closed, I know how many deals I'm getting from probate. So if I'm seeing that water shutoff is only not bringing in any deals that month, but pre-foreclosure is bringing in deals that month, that tells me I need to spend more time on the pre-foreclosure versus the water shutoff. But the only way I know that is because my numbers are linked and I can follow my KPIs. And we'll go through KPIs as we go along. So once you get all that set up, you should be good to go, right? You got your 10 DLC set up. Now you got your phone number set up with your campaigns, matching the campaign. So now you're organized when it comes from your leads that come in. Now everything is pretty much set up. Got a couple questions. Steven, are you using CallRail? I use CallRail only because I have people that I've marketed to previously that still reach out to me on CallRail. I want to get rid of that shit. Trust me. I don't want to spend $85 on CallRail anymore. But I have some seller leads that reach out to me from previous years, and they just come in randomly because they have that number, because I used to use that number as well. Now, Tara has one. Do you text from the same campaign number? Yes. You text and call from that same campaign number. So I'll show you guys an example of a lead and kind of show you what I mean by that. Where are leads at? So let's go active leads. So I'm going to go to my leads real quick. These are new. So just to kind of show you guys the link and the connection. So right here, this is that number that was linked that I set up for this campaign, right? So came through from cold calling as a probate lead, and this is the number that we communicate back and forth with. And then you can also change the number. For example, let's say they don't answer the number or whatever. You can change the number. All you got to do is go to edit and then change the number and change the campaign, right? Just go to edit, change the number, change the campaign, and you can change the number. But I don't like doing that because it messes up, the KPIs and stuff like that, unless you have a backup number ready to do that. But, either way, you can still do that. Yeah, technically, you don't need CallRail. Jalen, what you got?
Yes, sir. So basically, what I just wanted to get clear, you're linking individual phone numbers with individual campaigns, and then you're calling those campaigns from and messaging those campaigns from that individual phone number for like each campaign.
Yeah, when leads come over from a particular campaign, they will get assigned this number as the acquisition's phone number. And then from that point, I will be following up from this number, making my acquisitions calls from this number for that particular lead that came in from that particular campaign.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, you got your cold caller or whatever. They may end the call and saying, hey, my acquisitions manager, his name is Ty. He'll be giving, and it's from an expired listings lead. He'll be giving you a call from this number, 40470-664, blah, 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 blah. And then once that lead comes over, then that's the number that that's automatically assigned to that lead.
Okay. And then REsimpli, it automates that. Like it already does that. You don't have to do anything in particular.
Right. So once you set up the campaigns and set up the numbers and set them up to to configure it to be together, then once you integrate your marketing platform, right, whatever it is, cold calling, SMS or whatever, even if it's a website lead or whatever the case may be, once the lead gets pushed over to REsimpli, then that number will be assigned to that particular lead for that campaign.
Okay.
Make sense?
Makes sense. I appreciate it.
Okay, sweet. I got somebody calling me right now. Look at that. Hold on. Let me see. Tara, what you got?
Have you ever sent out a text and it's gotten blocked as spam, then it affects the number for the rest of the campaign?
I haven't. What was this, Peggy? I'll call her back. No,
that's like my concern. If you use the same number that you call out by, or you put it on a text campaign, or if you put it like in a mailer, if that number gets marked as spam, does then it affect the rest of the campaign? Like exactly what you have with call rails. So, you know what I mean?
I personally haven't experienced that, so I don't know. I would just say if it does get marked as spam, just change the number, right? You can go in here, get another number, and then swap it out. You can swap out that number that's correlated to that campaign. Worst case scenario.
I guess it doesn't matter if you're doing cold calls because you can quickly change the number. But if you're doing postcards or mailings and that old number is on there, then yeah, okay. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. Thanks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else? Any other questions, anybody? Okay, cool. So we got the campaign set up. Let me go back to the settings. And everything else you can kind of set up on your own, like the call flows, basically what happens when a number calls you, does it goes to your cell phone or whatever the case may be, how you want it to do. You know, you kind of go through that stuff as you go along. The next thing I want to talk about is the drip campaigns. Love the drip campaign feature. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So when you sign up, they're going to have all these templates for you already. Not these ones. These are ones that I created, but they're going to have some for you. If you sign up from my referral code, or if you would like my templates and all of these campaigns, let me know and I can get them to have these in your system, right? So the drip campaigns are pretty dope, right? Like I said, I only do SMS, email, and then I do the reminders. The reminders for me is, you know, just setting a task to call that lead. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Let me get back to that. So one question that Andres had, did you transfer all your old data from your old CRM into this new CRM, or are both of your CRMs still open and running? So me, I started completely fresh, but if you want to transfer all your leads over from your old CRM, they will send you a spreadsheet, which you have to put the right information in, and then they will upload the data for you. So they can upload it for you as leads, or they can upload it for you in their list stacking feature. But if you want them to upload it for you as leads, make sure you let them know that. Because if you upload them in the list stacking feature, then you have to go through all of them and then turn them into leads, basically. Okay, so you want to make sure when you transfer your old data into the REsimpli, ask them for the Excel file that they need, fill it in completely. It's the normal stuff, name, seller name, all of that, address, property, notes. The notes come over as well. And then tell them you want to add them all as leads, and then you go through the leads like that. Good question. Good question. I forgot to go over that because I didn't do that, but I started fresh. But that is a good question. So the drip campaigns, I have different campaigns set up for different situations and scenarios, right? So I'll start with like the very first one, the new lead introduction drip. It's like my favorite one. So whenever a new lead comes in from my marketing, right? When a new lead comes over from cold calling, 1 minute after that lead is submitted into REsimpli, they will automatically get an SMS message that says, hey, this is Ty. You just spoke with one of my reps, Dana, about the property address. I wanted to text you so you know who is calling. I will give you a call shortly. They get that 1 minute after that lead is submitted to my CRM. And the reason why I do that is it creates a warmer conversation. right? So they'll know, they'll see that phone number that's connected to that campaign, and they'll know that it's me calling when I call them again. And what I found is that increases the chances of them picking up the phone after they done spoke to my cold caller. All right. And then 1 minute after that, it sets up a task for me to call that new lead. So now immediately, once the lead is submitted, within 2 minutes, they get a text message and a task for me to call. So that means I need to call that lead within 2 minutes. So that's my favorite sequence right there. Got a question here. Can you share more details about SMS text formats when setting up drip campaigns? Yep, we'll get into that second. Allison, where can we get the Excel file? Just shoot me an email. Shoot me an email and then I'll forward you the Excel file. Because I have it already. So I'm gonna put my email in the chat. And anything you need, just shoot me an email. Anybody. It doesn't matter. What you got, Tara?
This might be a silly question, but what do you consider a lead? So if you're a new wholesaler and you've skipped traced, you've got 1,000 records, do you put all those 1,000 records in there as a lead, or is it just a lead when it becomes a contact and you have further communication that happens with them?
Yeah, so for me, I don't put everything in there. I have to qualify the lead first. So I have to have a conversation with them. I have to verify if they're the property owner. That's the first thing. So I'm like, hey, Tara, I was calling about your property on 123 Main Street. Are you the owner of that property? Yes, I am. Okay, cool. Verified that they're the property owner. I was calling to see if you'd be interested in selling. Are they interested in selling or consider an offer? That's another qualifying question. If the answer is yes, okay, cool. We're going to the next thing, right? The next qualifier is, okay, if we agree on the price, you are definitely ready to sell your property, right? Make sure they are confirmed that they are definitely ready to sell. Next thing after that is, okay, once we confirm that they're definitely ready to sell, how soon are you looking to make a final decision? How soon are you looking to sell? If the time frame is longer than 3 months, I don't want anything to do with it. I'll get back to them in 3 months. That's just my qualifications. I'm looking for people that's ready to go right now. Next thing after that, you can go into condition, but my VA, she's short on condition. The main condition question she asks is, how old is the roof? How old is the AC unit? How old is the water heater? That's the only thing I care about. Everything else, I'll deal with that when I talk to them on the acquisition side. So as long as that lead is giving my VA opportunity to ask those questions, now we're getting somewhere. The next thing is the motivation. She can get surface level motivation. That's fine, because my job is to dig deeper into the motivation, right? So she'll say something, hey, Tara, out of curiosity, what has you thinking about selling the property right now? Well, I'm looking to relocate. Okay, cool. Put that surface level there. If the seller gives her more, great. I don't let her I don't have her probe into the motivation, because that's what I want to do when I get on the phone. So when I get on the phone with the lead, I'm saying, hey, it looks like here that you're looking to sell because you're looking to relocate. Can you tell me more about that? Well, yeah, I'm looking to relocate because X, right? I got a new job offer, or this property is a little bit too big for me. I'm looking for something else, or whatever the case may be. I dig into that. So I need to get some form of motivation. And then the last thing is the asking price, right? What is your asking price? So for me, the way I qualify it based on the asking price is, if she's going to have Zillow pulled up, right? If the Zestimate, let's say for easy numbers, is $100,000. If the seller is asking 10% more than the Zestimate or less, we're sending that over as a lead. So if the seller is asking for 110,000 or less, we're sending that over as the lead. Don't care what the motivation is. Now, if the seller is asking more than that, then the motivation matters. I have to understand what the real motivation is. So once we check the boxes on all of those things, then that's when we send the lead over. Now, some people may disagree with that because they may miss out on opportunities, but me, I'm the only one doing the acquisitions. So if I'm the only one doing the acquisitions, I want to make sure I'm talking to quality leads and quality opportunities, because I've been in a situation where I just asked, if sellers said, yeah, I'll take an offer, and you start filling your CRM with junk, then your acquisition side, whether you're doing it yourself or you hire somebody else to do it, they're going to get a little unmotivated because those people that you're talking to are crap, right? If you got 50 people to call and 40 of them are like, I'm not trying to sell, how does that keep your morale up, right? So for me, I'm very intentional on the type of leads that are coming into this CRM, which is why I started fresh.
So what
help?
do you do with all of the other leads that your VA? Does she just keep it in an Excel spreadsheet and you just like maybe recycle them, or?
Yeah, so the ones that say they're not interested or asking prices too high or whatever the case may be, we don't call those again. We just go on to the next ones, the people that we haven't been able to get in contact with.
So how do you, if you're, because I was listening to you on the REsimpli master call the other day, when you were talking about when you refresh a data, how do you make sure that you're not refreshing the same data if it's not in your CRM? So you're not pulling the same list, paying for the same skip tracing, all that stuff.
Yeah, so after every call, the VA, there's a screen that comes up after she gets off the call, and it's going to say call disposition. Call disposition might be wrong number, might be new lead, might be DNC, might be not interested. So whatever the disposition is that she selects, it's going to put it in its own little filter, own little bucket, right? So when I get ready to recycle, I select which ones I want to call back, right? So let's say, I don't want to call the not interested. So when it's time to recycle, I'm pulling all of the people that said not interested out, and I'm just going through the list of people who didn't answer, they hung up, or whatever the case may be.
And that's just an Excel or something, Google Docs or something.
No, that's on the cold calling platform on Call Tools, on the software that I use. Yeah.
All right.
That makes sense?
Yep, that makes sense. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, cool. Got another. Jalen, you got another one?
Yes, sir.
What you got?
So, yeah, I just wanted to be a little bit more clear. So, like when your cold callers are calling the list, you're saying basically like right after they get off the phone with the VA, 1 to 2 minutes after, you're sending that text like, "Hey, you just talked to someone on my team," and that's how you're doing it. Like after like they get off the call straight away.
Yeah, so immediately once the lead gets submitted, the automation sets this up for them. It sets it up automatically. So I'm gonna show you how to set that up, right? So let's go to let me go to drip campaign. Let's go to his phone numbers, right? Let me show you how to set that part up. So let's say you go to expired list and say you got your number already there. We're gonna go ahead and hit this pencil right here. So for the expired listings campaign, we're going to go to drip automation, right? Auto assign a drip to leads created under this campaign. We're going to select yes, hit that notch, right? So leads created from integration, Zapier, Carrot, etc. So whatever your external marketing platform is, we're going to select that. Would you like to enable this? We're going to turn that on. Choose the auto follow-up sequence, new lead intro drip. You can select whichever one you want, but new lead intro drip. And then we're going to select, would you like to stop the drip campaign once you receive a call or SMS from the lead? Yes, because we don't want to keep sending the same message over and over, not the same message over and over, but keep sending drips when they already respond. So once you set up this automation here, when that lead comes in, when my VA hits submit, push to leads, or send to REsimpli, whatever it says on the call on the platform over there, through Zapier, it's going to automatically initiate this campaign, and they're going to get that text message.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And so for like inbound leads, so leads that call you off of like another marketing platform, your numbers, you're doing that same thing, how like you're setting it up for if they do call you, you have like an automated like disposition for the lead.
So for every campaign they call in, wherever they call in from, every campaign is set up the same way. So they all will get that message once they call in, or once the lead is submitted, I'm saying. Now, if they call in, let's say they call in and I missed the call, right? I have a drip automation for that. So the drip automation for that, miss incoming call drip, right? Because sometimes you can't answer every call. And if you answer the call, you don't need a drip, right? So let's say I missed the incoming call. 1 minute once the call is missed, hey, blank, I'm currently on the call. I'll call you back shortly. Right? Then a minute later, it tells my acquisition manager to call that lead. Now, if it's coming in just randomly, then obviously you can't put a first name. But if it's coming in and there's already a lead in your system, then you put the first name there. Follow me?
Got you. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yoshi got, what triple line dialer can you use that integrate with this system? I use Call Tools. I only use Call Tools. I've been using Call Tools for years now. And that's the one that I like to use. What you got, Tara?
Does your VA have her own login? So she's filling out the lead forms, or does she have something that pushes to create a new lead?
Yeah, so she has her own seat with her own login. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. What you got, Dennis?
Real quick. Suppose you have a lead that calls in and you don't get in contact with them. Do you have a drip that follows up? And how many days, if you do have a drip that follows up after not getting in contact with a seller, what is the process like? Do you have a 10-day drip and then a 30-day drip? And then are you moving them in your CRM to a certain thing? Like, what's that process like for you?
Yeah, so if any inbound leads come in and I don't get them on the phone or whatever, I don't really do a lot of inbound marketing. So all of my marketing is going to be outbound. So I'm doing cold calling. I'm just now implementing SMS. So inbound, I don't do too much of it. So that doesn't really happen to me as often. But in a situation like you can't get in contact with a lead, well, I have a no contact made lead drip right here. It's going to send them 14 messages, 6 emails, and 7 reminders, which means 7 calls in the first 6 days.
So oh, okay. In the first 6 days, they're getting 14 SMS. So if you don't, so whether it's inbound or outbound, I'm saying the same thing, but there's no contact. You try to call the seller, they're not picking up. What's that process like after that?
Yeah, so when I first call a lead, so when a lead first comes in, I'm going to call them twice, back to back. I call, they don't answer. I call them right back, they don't answer. I send them a text message right then. Then I put this no contact made drip on. This no contact made drip, what happens is, I'll show you. Right, once I initiate this no contact made drip, 1 minute after I initiate it, they get this text message. Hey, so-and-so, this is Ty, just called. Not sure if you got my previous message, reaching out about the house on blah, 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 blah. Right? Next thing, what I like to do, I like to send text messages back to back. Right? So that way they look at your phone. If somebody texts you twice back to back, you're going to look at your phone like, what the hell going on? So my first message is always a statement, and then the next message is going to be a question. I need to remove this. My first message is always a statement. You see right here, statement. Then my next message, a minute later, is the question. So they getting it, boom, boom. So they looking at it, right? And then 4 hours after that, they're getting another message. Hey, did you get my last text? Then 1 minute after that, I'm sending them an email, whatever random marketing email, right? Because I upload their emails as well. If I want their email addresses. Then 1 day after that, so the next day I'm calling, right? 1 hour after that, if they don't answer, I send a text message automatically. Hey, I didn't hear back from you earlier. Just want to make sure my last message came through. 1 minute after that, if you're busy now, same thing, the double message, right? Statement, question. When you think it'll be available for a few minutes, right? 5 hours later, another message. So you kind of get the flow. And this goes on for the first 6 days. I'm going back, Does that make sense?
Then you're calling the next day. You'll call again one time. And then there's a bunch of messages coming in after that.
Right. So the task are the calls, right? So in this section, it's called reminders. So that's 7 calls in 6 days. But obviously, it's going to be more calls because you're going to double dial them, right? So it might be 14.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And depending on how hot the lead is, if it's a pre-foreclosure lead, I'm still going to call them outside of the drip campaign. I blow these motherfuckers up.
Fire. Cool.
Follow me?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Is this template included? Yeah, all these templates included. So you sign up through my link, obviously my referral link. Let me know. They should automatically get you these templates and these campaign sequences and all this stuff already. If not, send me an email and then I'll make sure that they get you set up. Andres, what was one of the longest follow-ups that your drip campaigns were able to turn into a deal? I don't even keep track of that, honestly. I just acquisitions. I don't have time to look into that deeply. So I'll be honest with you. I just keep calling. That's just what it is. I got one on here that goes on for 360 days. Another one goes on for 437 days. What's another one? I have a long-term 283 days. Like I said, I've only been using this thing for only 7 months now, so I haven't had, it hasn't been anything crazy. But yeah, the drip campaigns, right? So like I said, all of these different situations, offer made, can't reach, offer not accepted drip, right? Post closing drip for, you close a deal, you're trying to get referrals and recommendations and all these different things, right? Other opportunities, getting reviews, right? Hey, don't forget to leave a Google review, post closing drip, right? Automatically sets that up. What else I got? Pre-foreclosure drip, reinstated loan modification extension drip. So somebody going through pre-foreclosure and they tell me they reinstated a loan, got a loan mod or got an extension, well, chances are they probably be back in that situation in the next couple months, right? So I stay on top of them too. Got a warm lead drip as well. Warm leads are for people who not ready to sell right now. So I put them on a little drip. They get 9 messages, 9 emails, and 10 reminders. I call them. But they may not get called as often. And that goes on for 300 days. So different leads get different drips, right? As you can see, there's different leads. You can see how many active on what particular campaign. But the drip automation is like the main feature that I like because it has people reach back out to me. I'll show you guys a lead real quick. What's this dude name? Harry. This guy, I turned him into a dead lead because I made him an offer. He wasn't interested. He stopped, I'm not selling. I don't want to sell. So I turned him into a dead lead. I didn't remove him out of my system, but the drip automation worked his magic, kept staying on top of him, and he ended up calling me back. Right? So this is all drip automation. All of this. All drips. So since May 10th, he's been getting messages. May 10th, he got one on May 30th, automatic. Got an email, got another message May 31st. He ain't respond. He didn't respond. Another one June 4th. Hey, should I close out your file or did you want me to move forward? He didn't respond, so kept sending him. The drip kept going. The drip didn't stop until he responded. And then he ended up calling me. Right? Well, this is one of I called him, I think. And then when he called? So he called right here. He called me back right here. And then the drip changed. The drip ended because he responded. If I can find it. But you get the point. Like the drip automation kind of keeps everything going. Like, and now he's back to a lead now. He called me because he's about to go through pre-foreclosure and shit like that. So the shit works. Very valuable. Let me see. Got another question. Rachel, when you move people from the list stacking dialer into a drip, are you able to see the call history still on that lead from the previous calls made through the list stacking dialer? No, you're not, unfortunately. Yeah, you are not able to see that because once you move it over into a lead, it just turns into something. It's a brand new file at that point. So I've noticed that too. You won't see the call history. Only you'll see the call history in the list stacking dialer because you're using a different phone number to do that, right? So if you go to the phone numbers, if you're using the dialer phone numbers are completely different from your leads. So you got your leads, you got numbers for your buyers, you got a number for your dialer, you got a number for your vendors, like your title companies and all that stuff. I use my cell phone for that. So it's not necessary, but your dialer numbers are going to be different from your lead number. And what's this right here? So I just got a notification on something. What is this? Wrong number. Tell Meredith to change the number because I keep getting her stupid work messages. So this was a drip campaign that was just going, right? Drip notification stop. Hot foreclosure drip has been stopped because you received the SMS. I don't even remember this lead. I think I set this up last night, but I don't remember this lead. So now what I'll do, I'll go to that lead. And then I'll deal with this later. But what I'll do is the wrong number, so I'll just delete that number out of the file and try to find out who Meredith is and try to find her number. I think this moves slow because I'm on Zoom. Any other questions about the drip automation before we move along? Anything that need to get more clarified, or are we good? Okay, cool. Yeah, as I move through this is probably because I'm on Zoom screen sharing. So that's the drip automation. God damn. Will we have access to this recording? I joined a little late. Yeah, just send me an email if you want I'll send the email with the recording to everybody that registered. So don't worry about it. You don't even have to send me an email. I'll just send out the recording when I get done with it. Another important feature, global tasks. Like all of this stuff should be set up in the very, very beginning. Right? It's going to take a lot of time to set it up, but you set it up the first time, you can tweak it and adjust it as you need to later on down the line. But if you set it up right in the beginning, everything will roll pretty smoothly later on. So global task is very important, right? Every lead. So the best way to operate REsimpli is operates on a task system. A task system means when you log into your dashboard, what task do I need to complete for today? So when I log into my dashboard, I see I have 7 total tasks for today. Out of those 7 tasks, 5 are lead tasks, right? So what the global tasks allow you to do is whenever a status is changed, the tasks are automatically added to that particular lead. So whenever a new lead comes in, on top of the drip that comes in, there's tasks assigned to that lead. So whenever I have a new lead that comes in, there's a task, call new lead ASAP, attempt 1, right? And then 4 hours after that, call new lead, attempt 2, right? Once that lead does not answer, then I put them on that no contact made status, right? And then what happens on the no contact made status? Start the drip. No contact made, new lead drip. So whenever you change the status, you should have tasks for each status, right? Now, let's say I do get in contact with the seller. Well, what's the next steps after that? I'm either going to follow up or make an offer. So in that particular lead, under that status, contact made, my next thing to do would be follow up and make an offer. Now, this is valuable because I don't have to manually add tasks every single time. Once the status is changed, the tasks change along with it. If I made an offer, what's next? Offer follow-up, or I'm setting an automatic drip. I'm going to follow up the first time to see if they accept my offer or whatever the case may be. If I can't get in contact with them, I'm going to keep doing the offer follow-up. And then after, I can't get in contact with them or whatever the case may be, I'm going to set the drip. Offer made, can't reach. Right? That's the automation. And it's going to be in contact with them. What happens when you get a lead under contract? I'm going to set an appointment for photos and I'm going to market it to the buyers. So you guys get the point, right? Setting up these global tasks will allow you to make sure that every status that gets switched for that particular lead, you will get tasks assigned to it. So you'll know how to follow up, who to follow up with, and what to do with that particular lead. Keeps you on track. Then you have, for the wholesale pipeline, once you get the property under contract, if you're going to wholesale it, you set the statuses for that, send the deal to buyers. You get an accepted offer, send contracts to title, follow up with title. You got to clear the close task, get preliminary HUD, and you can do whatever ones you want. These are just the ones that I utilize the most, that I found most useful to me, right? So if you have your process is a little bit different, you know what I mean? You might put showing the buyers, follow up with buyers. You might add that task. You know what I mean? Inventory. Let's say you're doing a flip. What do you do on the flip? These are the certain things, right? You set tasks for that, sold, whatever the case may be, and then rentals, whatever your tasks are for your rentals. So the global task is very important. Knock those out, get those set up. That way, whenever you're changing your statuses, boom, you got tasks assigned for each status that you have. That way you'll be able to get in contact, do what you need to do with that particular lead or opportunity. Any questions about that? Okay, cool. Another thing you need to set up, your templates. Set up your templates. So I have a ton of email templates, ton of email templates, okay? The best way to get these email templates is ChatGPT or, you know, the Google AI. Create your templates, right? And just phrase them separately, phrase them differently, however you want to phrase them. But create your templates. That way, you need to create your templates first before you set up your drip campaigns. So create your templates, have them already set up so you can create your drip campaigns, especially for the email. Now, with the SMS templates, when you're doing your drip campaigns, unfortunately, the templates that you use here, you cannot use SMS templates. So you have to manually create your SMS templates when you're doing your drip campaigns. So I'm just click on one real quick so you guys can see. So I had to manually type this out, right? Same thing, copy and paste, ChatGPT, saved me a lot of time. Right. But like I said, if you guys want the drip campaign, if you want these templates, just let me know. But the SMS templates, these SMS templates are good for where they at? These SMS templates right here are good for if you're working your leads, right? So for example, let me go to a lead. I'm gonna stay in this settings screen right quick. Let me go to a lead so I can show you these SMS templates. So I have different SMS templates for different scenarios, right? So I have, you know, seller appointment inspection, buyer walkthrough, you know, no contact made, new lead text, what's your email, can't reach seller, different things. So let me go to a lead so I can show you where the text templates come into play. Because as you doing your acquisitions and following up and all that, you're going to start seeing the same, kind of things over and over and over again. And you're going to be typing the same shit over and over again. So to save time, create the SMS template so you don't have to manually type all this shit over and over and over again, especially it's the same stuff. So let this thing load up. So for example, let's say Bobby Joe, what kind of funny name is that? So let's say I call Bobby Joe, right? So I'll go ahead, I want to send him a text message. Opens up this screen. Now here are all my templates, right? So I have all my templates. So I have initial text template. Hey, Bobby, I just called. You spoke to my rep about the property, blah, blah, blah. I want you to introduce myself as a point of contact going forward. Remember, the first message is a statement. Next message is a question. Same situation, right? What's another one that I have? Change your mind about selling. Can't reach the seller. Excuse me. Hey, Bobby, I've been having a tough time getting back in touch with you. Did you change your mind about selling? That's the first one. The second one, either way, just let me know so I know how to proceed forward, right? So these text templates, I don't have to keep typing these over and over again. It's the same situation, just a different seller, right? What's your email? Hey, boom, what's your email so I can send you some info about us in the meantime to check us out and do your due diligence. This is when I'm getting ready to submit an offer. If I don't get it on the phone, then I'll send a text. Right? Seller doesn't want to sell. Right? Offer. Right? Well, if you change your mind, willing to offer, blah, blah, blah. So that's my aggressive text. You know, if somebody says I don't want to sell anymore, then, well, I'm going to go ahead and send them an offer just to let them know what the number is. You know what I'm saying? See if they bite on that. Another one is what I like. Very valuable. If we're doing a walkthrough or doing a property appointment, I got the inspection appointment text message already set up, right? This is a friendly reminder about your property inspection appointment scheduled at blah, 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 blah. So you guys get the point. The text templates allow you to save time, right? So you go there. So make sure you get your, yeah, I already did it over here. So make sure you set up your text templates. RVM templates, I don't have any set up just yet. I will start to implement RVM soon just to try it out. The task templates, very important as well, right? As you work in your leads, right, to save time, once again, right, you have your task templates. Go back. So instead of manually having to type out what the next task is, right? So let's say we go to task, add task. Let's say, for example, we need to make offer. Instead of saying, I need to fill this out, make offer. I need to, what kind of offer? It will be, okay, offer. Okay, select the role, owner. Okay, select when it's due. I need to make the offer within an hour, whatever. Instead of doing all that shit, right? Go ahead and have your task template already set up. Make offer. The shit is already filled out. It's already filled out. Save time. Create task. Boom. I save so much time just by having the task template set up. Time is money. Got to move with attention and speed. So that's your task templates. You guys have any questions about the templates? All right, sweet. What you got, Tara?
A lot of templates. How long did it take you to implement all this stuff?
I still implement stuff, honestly. I'm still doing it. So like anything that I see that that I need and I've been doing repeatedly, then I'll be let me create a task for that. Let me create a template for that. So you're going to start to see it as you go along. Like, I'm tired of typing make offer. I'm tired of typing follow up. I'm tired typing the same thing over and over again. So like I'm still building on some of this stuff, right? So initially probably took me maybe a day. You know what I mean? Not even a day, maybe like an hour just to write out all the things that I need. But over time, you just start adding and building on upon it.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoops. What else? So you got your e-sign templates too, right? One of the features that I like about this is I can say fuck DocuSign, right? And I can send contracts and documents through here. And what I found valuable about this is they only charge you $1 to send a contract, right? DocuSign, I pay $45 a month for DocuSign. I'm not sending 45 documents a month. So I'm saving money there, right? If I'm sending 45 documents a month, then DocuSign, if I'm sending more than 45 documents a month, then DocuSign is valuable a little bit, right? Because you can send unlimited. But here, since I'm sending less than 45, right, then I'm only paying $1 per document. So if I'm only sending 20 contracts or 20 documents a month, I'm saving $25 versus using DocuSign. So with the contracts, you want to set up your templates, right? You got your purchase agreement, whatever your agreements are, it works the same way as DocuSign would, right? So let's go ahead and let me edit one real quick. It's the same thing, same situation, same scenario. I got a video on that coming out soon as well to show you how to set these things up. But you upload your purchase and sales agreement. You have you add your party. I'm gonna just put buyer as you. You're gonna be the buyer. And then you got the other role, seller. I'm gonna put seller 1 because sometimes there's 2 sellers, right? So basically, when I fill out my documents, I fill out everything for the seller. Only thing I want the seller to do is sign that damn contract. That's it. Everything else is gonna be filled in. But what I like about this, being that I'm doing it within REsimpli, right? There's certain fields that gonna populate over from the lead form, such as the property address, right? The property address, boom. That's going to automatically do it. The offer price. So once I put an offer price in the lead, that offer price is going to show up here, right? Earnest money deposit, all those things, right? So certain fields automatically fill in because it comes from the actual lead. Save you a little bit more time, right? A little bit more efficient. But I'm not going to go into all this DocuSign stuff. Not DocuSign, all this e-sign stuff, because I got a video coming out on that soon. But basically, you upload your templates, and then you're ready to send documents. You want to send a document, you go over to Actions. Open the Actions, send for e-sign. You select the document you want to send, and then boom, you go from there, okay? Andres, do you allow access for the public to this agreement? What do you mean by that exactly? Like, you want that? Do you like, meaning you want that contract? If you want it, just send me an email. I'll send it to you. So that's that. That's the e-sign template with within the platform. Call scripts, dialer voicemail, that's other stuff. Tags. I don't use the tag system, but you can utilize the tag system to help you filter through your leads or whatever. So if you get a lead that's hot, you can add a tag there. You get, certain tags to add the type of lead it is, where it came from, is it land, the type of property, all these different things. You can add the tags there. I don't do it too much, but it's good to filter out and use the tag system. It helps you out as well. So that's that. Now let's get into the KPIs. Well, let me go through the dashboard really quick because that's important. I'm just breeze through the dashboard. So the dashboard, when you log in, like I said, this is going to show you, okay, what do I have to do today? All right, my tasks due as of today, I have 7 total tasks, right? So what I want to do is, okay, let me click on that. This is just my process. I'll go here. Okay, I got these tasks due. This one is past due, really. But I go in here, go to the lead. The task was call a new lead. This lead came in, so I'm gonna call that lead. Once I call the lead, I check off the task and kind of go through the next task. All right, same thing. Go through. And what I like about this, you can put your general business tasks, right? So whatever your tasks are for your business that doesn't have anything to do with leads, you can put it there, right? Like send SMS blast, duplicate foreclosure workflow automation. That's something completely different, but it's a reminder of what I need to do that day. Or something might be go to the bank, or something might be skip trace records. So whatever your tasks are for that day, that'll show up there. That's a good way to kind of start your week out. You can go in here, go to add a task. Let's say if you got some things scheduled for the week, if you're trying to prepare for your upcoming week, I need to go to the bank on this day, or I need to do this. So you add the task. So the task system, it was going to allow you to stay on track with what you have to do for that particular day. So you got the dashboard, back to the dashboard. You got your new leads here. So whenever you get new leads, they'll show up here. Open messages, that's just meaning messages that your leads have sent to you that you have not addressed yet, right? So I have a couple open messages here. So this one right here is open because I haven't addressed it yet. So boom, she sent me a text message a little bit earlier and I haven't addressed it yet. So let me go ahead and scroll down and see what she sent. I reached out to ask, still waiting on her response. So I'm gonna go ahead and respond to her really quick. So make sure you change that to blank. Okay, sounds good. Keep me updated, please. Oh shit, I didn't want to do all caps. Okay, sounds good. Keep me updated, please. All right, so I'll send that. And what's cool is, let me go ahead and schedule. If I don't want to send a message right now, this is cool. Let's say you want to send a text message, but you want to send it later. Okay, I don't want to send it right now, so let me send it. I'll send it in 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. It's going to schedule to send. Or if I want to send it in a couple days, I can do that, right? Let me schedule to send that message. So that message is going to go out in a couple minutes, whatever. And you'll be good to go. So that's a good way to make sure that you don't forget to send people messages, especially if they're not on a drip. If they're not on a drip, you got to do something. And I'm going to get into that in a second. So if you want to see your scheduled messages, you go to activity, go to schedule SMS, and then you'll see which ones are scheduled, right? So that one's scheduled to go out in a couple minutes. This one is scheduled to go out in a month, right? I don't have a drip on this one because it's a special lead that I'm working, but I just wanted to make sure that this message gets sent, that message in particular gets sent. So back to the dashboard. We're going to go back to those open messages, right? And it's easy to clear them out from here. You just go ahead and click open. right? You just click open and it's going to ask you, do you want to remove it from open status? I'm going to remove her from open status because she called me. I'm going to just call her back. But that just lets you know, like, a lead reached out to you or contacted you and you need to do something about it. Or on the new lead side, that just means there's a new lead over there or whatever the case may be. So you want to make sure that's kind of cleared out too. At the end of every day, I want to make sure all this is cleared out. That's my goal every single day when I come in the office. Whatever's scheduled for that day, whatever task I have for that day, this needs to be zeroed out across the board. Then you have your buy side contingencies and your sell side contingencies. So let's say on the buy side, if you get a property under contract and you have a due diligence period, you can put that due diligence period there and it's going to let you know when it's coming up, if it's past due in 7 days or after 7 days. So that's pretty cool. So you can stay on track with the properties that you are working, the leads that you're working. Let's say you're trying to find a buyer, like, shit, my due diligence is in 7 days. I got 7 days, right? On the sell side, let's say you're doing a flip or you're doing a hotel or you're doing an ovation or whatever the case may be, you can put your sell side due diligence on the contingencies on there as well, like your inspections or your appraisals, all those kind of contingencies. You can put that there as well to kind of stay on track. Now, this area right here is very important. Kind of gives you an idea of what's going on with your leads. The most important thing, let me go back. What's up, Dennis? What you got?
In that, where you were with where you had the active leads, is it possible to add another tab on there?
Like at the top?
Yeah.
I don't believe so. So you want to add like a new kind of column?
Yeah, I know on Go High Level you can do that.
Yeah, Go High Level you can. I don't believe you can on here. I don't know. Let me see if you can edit. You might be able to edit them, but I don't think you can add them.
I think you can edit them, but
yeah,
I'm trying to add one more column, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that might be something that comes out soon because a lot of people ask about that. So that might be something, but I think you can edit them though, if I'm not mistaken.
You have
six. You can edit them.
Oh no, you have more than 6.
Yeah, you can edit them. So I can change the title if I want.
4, 5, 6, 7. That's interesting because I only have 6. Oh no, I have 7 too. Okay.
Yeah, but you can change them. Like these two right here, I don't use. So if I want to change the name to them and use them, I can. I don't know what I would use. I just do new lead, no contact made, contact made. Once I make the contact, what's the next step? Okay, I make the offer. Appointment set is cool, but I don't really use that because I use the task to let me know. Once I set an appointment, I'll go over that too in a second. Once I set the appointment, it's going to show up in my task as appointment set. So I don't really miss appointments. It's pointless for me to add it there. Due diligence, that's kind of pointless as well because I can use the contingencies that I just showed on the beginning to understand that. But offer made and under contract.
So what do you do with the leads? I mean, what do you do with the leads that you don't contact? Do you leave them in that area or do they go to somewhere else?
Yeah, so I keep them in that particular area, right? So if I made an offer, I keep them there, right? But on here, right, if I made an offer, and this is why I'll get into this now since you asked that good stuff. This column right here, this needs to be zeroed the fuck out. If this is not zeroed out, that means there's somebody that's slipping through the crack. That means there's no drip on that particular lead and there's no task on that particular lead. So this needs to be zeroed out across the board. So for every status that I have for the offers made status, they all either have a drip or they all have a pending task because this is zeroed out. So that's how you make sure that the leads don't slip through the cracks. They need to at least have a task or at least have a drip on them. That way, when you come in, if there's a task for that particular lead, I make the call or whatever the case may be. Or if there's a drip on it, I know they're getting touch with the automation, with SMS or email or RVM or whatever you set up for your automation.
Where do your dead leads go?
The dead leads stay in the dead lead status, but I put a dead lead drip on them.
Yeah, I got you. So, but they're not in that active lead.
No, they're not in the active lead. No.
Okay. So that's where I could.
They're in their own little section, dead leads.
How do you put a lead into dead leads?
It's just the status. So you go to a lead and change the status, right? Let me go to a lead really quick for you. Gotta cut all this shit out.
Drips and the dead lead. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you
That makes
you
a
just
lot of
select the
sense.
stat. So the lead status right here. You see where it says contact made?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's perfect. That's what I needed. That's what I needed.
Okay, cool.
Appreciate it.
Yep, for sure. So, for example, I got a couple leads on the dead lead side that do not have a drip or a task on them. I need to address those. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click this right here because that's gonna show me which ones they are. So it's those 4 dead leads right here. This is obviously, I always need to keep one because that's my test, right? So for me, I know I have a test lead so I can do test and play with it, right? So it's always gonna be one there. So this one right here doesn't have a task, it doesn't have an automation, right? And the way that you can see if a lead has an automation, the way that you can see if a lead has an automation on it, it's going to be like a little light blue bubble with a lightning bolt in it. So let me go to leads, active leads. I'll go to active leads. It's going to be a light blue bubble with a little lightning bolt on it. So right here, or green. That means there's an automation on it. So it doesn't have a task, but it has an automation. So it has to have one or the other, right? So let's say this one right here, I need to do something with Tashika. Tashika doesn't have a drip. She doesn't have a task. So what I'm going to do with Tashika, let me see what's the last thing that Tashika said. She told me to stop. So when they reply stop, right? When they reply stop, you cannot continue to market to that particular number. It won't allow you to do it. Now, I'm trying to figure out if we can change the number and we can still market to it, or if we have to delete the lead and add them again, if we can market to it. That's what I'm working on because I just got that question yesterday. So I need to figure that part of it out. But for this particular number, this 1330, I can't respond. I can't send marketing to that number from this number. So what I'll do is I'll just take that, make this the primary contact, because that number might not be hers. This number may not be hers. It might be this mobile number right here. So this right here shows you if it's mobile or landline. If it's a landline, it'll say M. If it's mobile, if it's landline, say L. If it's mobile, say M. This means it's a VoIP, kind of like a Google Voice. One of those type of numbers. So this number, I'm just go ahead and delete it because it says stop from that number. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a drip on Tashika for this number. Let's see if that works. I wonder if it works because if it will work being that it's a different number. Let me see. So I'm going to put, which one I'm going to put? I'm going to just do, and sometimes I like to do different drips, right? I like to trick people. I'll probably do an offer made drip, but I can't reach you. So they thinking I made an offer to them. No, you didn't make an offer. Boom, got them hooked, right? So it just really depends on the seller or the lead. So sometimes I'll just play with it and see which one's going to generate the best response. Even if I didn't make an offer, I'll set up an offer made drip sequence so they get in text message saying, hey, would you consider our offer? Hey, we made an offer. Hey, this and that. And they like, what offer? And they respond. Just like a little trick I do there. So I'm gonna just do no contact made, new lead drip so I can get on it. So once I initiate this drip campaign, I can change when I want this message to send, but I want it to send in a minute. And then I'm always check, once they respond, to stop sending automation. So let it do its thing. Should be up. Hurry up.
Real quick, Todd, is there a way where, all right, say a property been no contacted for 45 days. Is there a way for it to automatically go to somewhere else?
Well, the way I would say, I would put a status. I would set a task and stay change status, and then you can change the status. It won't move it automatically to somewhere else. I know Go High Level it will, but here it won't do it that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
because they do it off of like triggers and shit like that. And whenever this happens, you can do this, if thens and all of that. You can do it that way. This is a little bit more simple than that. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. You know, go high level can be a little overwhelming for most.
Yeah, especially like if you have like a VA or you have an acquisition manager, you're going to spend 10 times the time trying to teach them what to do and what not to do. This is just super simple.
Yeah, it's super simple. That's why I like it. I mean, they call it REsimpli for a reason. So let me go back to the dashboard and show you how now that one lead that I put on a drip, it should now show 3 as not on a drip and not on a pending task. So like I said, you want to make sure this is pretty much zeroed out. That lets you know that, okay, if this is zeroed out, that means something, that lead has a drip or that lead has a task on it, and it shouldn't slip through the crack. Right here, you got your conversion trends, you know, little KPIs, not nothing crazy, but just kind of like an overview. And we'll get into KPIs shortly. You got leads, appointments, offers, contracts over the last 7 days, lead source, your hot leads. So if you want to see all your hot leads, you can mark them hot in the lead file, in the lead form. So you just click on the lead, go to the edit button, and you can add them hot leads if you want. You can also see your hot leads quickly up at the top. If you click the flame right there at the top toolbar, you click on that, it'll get you to all your hot leads. Unclaimed leads. So these are like if you set it up where you have acquisitions and stuff like that. You assign the leads and all of that stuff to the acquisitions. However your business is structured, you can kind of coordinate it that way. I don't have unclaimed leads or unassigned leads. Leads communication. 9 unread notifications. So if I can go to all the notifications that came in. You got one that said no, not selling, responses, inbound calls, text messages, and all that. And I can clear that out. Like I said, at the end of the every day, I like to make sure that my dashboard is pretty much zeroed out. And that just lets me know that I'm doing everything, you know, I'm actually having a productive day. You know what I mean? I'm getting all my tasks knocked out. Then you got your call stats, call results, and so forth. But yeah, to turn a hot lead, if this wants to show up, but it's not really that important. So that's that. Any questions about the dashboard? All right, cool. So now we'll get into this is one of the newest features that they implemented. I think probably a few weeks ago. I freaking love it. I do a lot of operating out of this as well. So they implemented this inbox feature right here. And this inbox feature pretty much makes it a whole lot more efficient with you reaching out to your leads and following up with your leads and all of that stuff. I've been saying follow up a lot because that's what CRM is built for. This is built to follow up. This is not a marketing platform. This is a follow up platform where you put your qualified leads and opportunities here, and then you can follow up, nurture these leads, and then make offers and get contracts. What you got, Tara?
Is this follow-up feature in a certain package of REsimpli, or is that across the board?
I believe this should be across the board. This right here.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be across the board. Everybody should have this inbox feature, unless they didn't roll it out to everybody, but I believe everybody has this. So this inbox feature is pretty cool. So like on the left-hand side, obviously you got all your leads and opportunities, right? That you're working with. Also, you can see what task you need to go ahead and get done as well. So like I said, I do a lot of my operating out of here. So for example, this lead right here, I can send a text message straight from here. I can see everything, right? I go to all, or if I just want to see the SMS conversation, I click on that. Click on SMS. Close that out. Right? If I want to see all the call history, go to there. All the calls are recorded. So if you want to listen to the calls, you can hit play. You can download them as well. Get that. And then your notes, right? If you want to add notes you want to see all the notes, you can save as note, right? If I want to put in a note, no answer, hit note, save note. And then you can also get to the lead. You can make a call to the lead right here. Click call lead. Another window will pop up. The dial pad window will pop up. Then I can just call the lead and call the opportunity right here, and they'll dial it and call it. And you kind of go through everything, right? So this is kind of how, I manage all my leads for the most part. And then I pin them. The most important ones I pin to the top. So that way I know for a fact, these are the ones that I want to make sure I get in contact with, the ones that I'm really working. And you kind of go through each one, right? You can filter it by the ones that are unread. So you can attack those first. No, not selling, right? So he's not selling, so I'm not going to waste my time on that guy. I want to spend my time on people who want to sell their property. Right? Wrong number. Tell Meredith to change the number. Okay, cool. She called in, clear that out. This person said stop. So I clear out all my unread tasks, right? And I filter it that way. So that's a cool feature there that I like. You can easily go between, you can switch in between leads very quickly and work your leads faster than just clicking out, clicking in, clicking out, clicking in. Any questions about that? All right, cool. Next thing, KPIs. We're almost done, I promise. KPIs. So love this part of it. The KPIs is important. You have your general overview of the KPIs here, like, deal tracker, revenue tracker, net income tracker. Then on the right-hand side, you have a more in-depth breakdown. You got your cost per lead, cost per deal, money spent, revenue generation, marketing and return on investment. Down here, you have your lead and deal flow. You have the leads, appointments, offers, deals, right? So it tracks the deals you close, offers you made, all these different things on a month-to-month basis. Then you have revenue. These are more KPIs, number of calls, all these different things, right? You track all of that stuff. And then you can kind of set your filters and select what areas that you want, what time period that you want to look at, and all these different things. That's the border. That's the baseline. Now, this is important. The marketing side. Remember when I was telling you guys about the campaigns, right? This is why it makes sense. So, for example, I have, let's look at this one right here. So, marketing wise, let's say pre-foreclosures, for example. I market the pre-foreclosures, and the reason why setting up that campaign with those phone numbers is important because now I see from my pre-foreclosure campaign, I got 14 leads, 6 qualified, 2 appointments, 5 offers made, 0 under contract, 0 deals. So what that's telling me is I'm not converting my pre-foreclosures, but I'm getting leads from it, right? This one here, absentee vacant, I got a deal off of that. 16 leads, 8 qualified, 2 appointments, 6 offers made, 3 under contract, and 3 deals. So based off of those KPIs, that's saying, well, shit, pre-foreclosures ain't really making me no money. I need to focus on the absentee vacant because that's what's getting me deals. So that's the value of making sure that your phone numbers are connected with that particular campaign and you're doing your campaigns kind of similar to what I'm doing. So that way you can see which campaign is performing, which one is generating revenue, which one should I be focusing my energy on, which one should I be shying away from. And then obviously you can kind of go a little bit further with more data with total leads, qualified leads, offers, all that, appointments, cost per deal, all that stuff. Then you can do a manual entry, right? You can add deals in there manually. I need to do that. This is a new feature they added recently. I haven't done that. Then you have the REsimpli banking. This is based off of when you have it connected to your bank account. Let me see what we got. What you got? You got one, Tara? Oh, I didn't put your hand down. Okay, my bad. Jalen, what you got?
Yep. So I just wanted to be clear. When we're talking about calling the list, are we integrating the list individually and then just focusing on that list, like using the power dialer, and then like we designate it, and that's how we're like keeping track of stuff, or are we doing something a little different?
So, can you repeat that one more time? I missed the first part.
Yeah. So like basically when you're cold, because all of these I'm assuming are like cold calls, right?
Correct.
Right. So are we taking like individual lists, like for example, like pre-foreclosure and an absentee vacant, and just focusing on like one of those lists and like basically calling the whole list and designating the leads that way so we could keep track of kind of the KPIs, or are we doing it like a little?
Correct. That's correct. So what I do is I get a list of pre-foreclosures across the whole fucking state of Georgia, right? You may have, let's say you work in multiple markets. So you might have 2 campaigns that say pre-foreclosure. One might say pre-foreclosure Georgia, one might say pre-foreclosure Florida. And the reason why it's separate that way, because you want those numbers, you want that Florida number to have a Florida area code, and you want that Georgia campaign to have a Georgia area code. Make sense? So I'm pulling, for me, what I do, I take the whole pre-foreclosure for the whole entire state. I don't give a damn, because if pre-foreclosure, I can get a deal out of it. I'm thinking, right? Because it's high, it's pretty much the highest priority lead, right? So I'm pulling a whole list, and I'm uploading that list. I'm creating the same campaign on Call Tools, which is my marketing platform. So I have a pre-foreclosure campaign and on there, and I have the pre-foreclosure here. So when the lead comes in from pre-foreclosure there, it correlates to the campaign here, and that new number, my acquisitions number, is now assigned to that lead, and then it tracks all of the leads that came in from that campaign. So yes.
Okay. So this one has a power dialer too, right?
It does. It's a single line. It's a single line though.
Single line dialer. Okay.
Yeah. So there's pros and cons to the single line and multi-line. So the single line dialer, you increase your chances of, obviously you're getting your contact rate will be a little bit better. The multi-line, your contact rate might be a little bit lower. The contact rate on the single line is a little bit higher. Contact rate on the multi-line is a little bit lower because you're spending more numbers on the multi-line, right? So the contact rate might not be as good, but you're going through more records that way. You might get through 50 dials on a single line dialer versus you might get through 100 something dials on the multi-line dialer.
Right. And then so the multi-line dialer you use is Call Tools, and you integrate with the REsimpli.
Correct.
Okay. Got it.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yep, for sure. So that's the KPIs, right? That's why your KPI metrics are important. That's why, this is one of my favorite features, because now I can see and understand where I need to spend my money, where I need to spend my time, where I need to spend my energy, right? By looking at the KPIs based off of, what leads are being converted, what leads are being sent over, which ones are turning into deals, which ones I'm making offers, all these different things. So that's that. You got any questions about that? Any more? Okay, cool. Then you got your list stacking. Let's say you want to use, you want to import list here. You can import your list here. And let's say you want to use the single line dialer, you can do so. And what I recommend, is the way the stacking works is this, right? You stack motivations. That's how I look at it. So if I want to filter, let's see, list count, right? I'm going to filter by list count. So let's say I upload an absentee list. Let's say I upload a tax delinquent or a code violation list or a vacant list in here. And let's say the list count is more than 1. It's going to show me and filter out all of the properties that are on multiple lists, right? Where is it at? More than 1. So that's REsimpli driving for dollars. That should be, hold on, let me change that. It should be list count. Let's just put list count is, let's put list count is 2. Apply filter. So now the properties that are showing are going to be properties that are on multiple lists, right? So why is that important? Well, you got 2 separate levels of motivation. You got one that's, let me see if I can find one here. A good one for you guys. Let's target it. Let me see. Let's say you got a fire damage one and then a code violation. Usually fire damage properties are going to be on a code enforcement list. I deleted it. Hold on, let me see. But you guys get the point, right? So here we go. So like right here, I got this property is on, I uploaded two lists, two separate lists. I uploaded a code violation list and I uploaded a fire damage list separately. But now, let's say I want to market to it by using the REsimpli single line dialer, and I want to niche my list down and my marketing down and be a little bit more targeted and intentional, right? And try to focus on people who may have a higher level of motivation, because now they're getting their property is fire damage and they're getting code violation letters, right, from the code enforcement. I'm stacking those motivations. So now I'm calling this person and they're a higher, it should be, ideally, it should be a higher level of motivation to sell that property because they're on two separate lists, essentially, if that makes sense. So if I want to target that, I'll just select all, right? Go to action, then I'll send to the dialer, and then I can start dialing that particular list if I want to use the REsimpli dialer. I use the REsimpli dialer for smaller campaigns, like this one right here. It only has 148 records, but this is a neighborhood that I'm specifically targeting. So if you have thousands of records, it's going to take you a long time to get through this with a single line dialer. If you have the time to do it, go for it, by all means. But if I'm uploading 3 phone numbers per contact and I have over 1,400 records, 14 times 3 was at 14, 28, that's at 32, not 32, 20, 40, forget the math, but you get the point. That's a lot of damn dials, right? And if I say you only can dial about 50 in an hour, then that's going to take you a long time to get through that. So that's where the multi-line dialer comes into play. But if you're targeting a specific niche area or a specific list that doesn't have that many records, then that's when the single line dialer comes into play. That's the dialer. What you got, Tara?
I think you said on the call the other day with REsimpli that you only make a certain amount of dials per number a day. Did I get that right?
Well, that's what they recommend so that the number doesn't get burnt out and marked as spam. So that's what any cold calling or any type of calling that you're doing, you want to put like a limit to the amount of dials that number is dialing on a day-to-day basis. So like for my cold calling on my platform, my numbers, sometimes I miss out. I fuck up because I manually do it. I should have my VA do it, but I set up the numbers to dial like 300, no more than 300 per day. Sometimes it goes over that if I'm not manually looking at it, but per number, 300 dials per number per day. So you want to make sure you don't over dial, because that's when your numbers start getting burnt and then, people start marking them as spam.
Right. Okay.
Next thing I want to show you guys is the website. A lot of people have questions, had questions about the website. So they have the ability to do a buyer website, seller website. Like I said, the seller website is a landing page. Basically, sellers can go to your website and they can, submit their information. You can edit it however you want. This is a little dashboard. I don't have a buyer website just yet, but I'll get one at some point. With the buyer website, you can just send a link to different buyers if you have multiple properties available, whatever the case may be. But you can design it however you want. I'll just go to the website real quick so you guys can see it. And like I said, all you really need is a domain. Like this is my other domain, cashfasthouses.com, right? And this is one of the templates that they have. You can change the photos out. You can change the text. The template is already set up with all the SEO words and phrases. All this stuff in here is already set up. The only thing that I added was like this page right here, foreclosure prevention. I added that page there. If people are searching on Google for foreclosure prevention, hopefully my page comes up and then they can read about it. And then they be like, okay, well, let me see if I get some more information from this guy. Put in their information and boom, I'll get an inbound lead. You know what I mean? I created a little blog with the same intent, right? Kind of thing. That's the only thing I did there. But ultimately, when people fill out their information on here, it will get routed to you inbound on your CRM. So you'll know that you got a lead that submitted some information, right? Like I said, if you go to your call settings and your phone numbers, you have that website, the website campaign. So if anybody submits something from the website, then I'll get the same situation will happen. I'll get a text, I get an email, they'll get a text, they'll get an email, not an email, but they'll get a text letting them know that I'm going to give them a call, right? Oh, I need to do that. That's what it need to be. Web form. New lead. Boom. There it is. Yeah, so I just set it up just now. I don't get much inbound stuff, so I don't really have it set up. But that's the website. And you can use it however you want. You can go www. is regular, right? Normal stuff. What you got, Dennis?
Do they charge you for the website?
The first one, no. You get the first one free. I don't think they'll charge you for the buyer one. I don't think so, but I haven't got one yet. They said they don't, but the first one is free. So if you want one, that's free. But if you want to have multiple, you can, and you have to pay, I think it's $29 a month for each one outside of that first one.
Have you ever did Carrot website?
No, I haven't done Carrot.
Okay, I was gonna say.
My other website is off of WordPress, like this one right here. Like my first website that I got was off of WordPress. And I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's just pretty much information. That's my first. This is my website I got off of WordPress.
Solid too.
Yeah, but it's just something simple. Like I said, landing page, whatever. It's easy peasy.
And they kind of, that was like pre-built.
Yeah, that was pre-built. Yeah, they have different templates. They have a couple templates that you can select, and you can change the colors. You can change the images to suit however you need. You can add pages. You can change whatever you want. Very fully customizable to what you need.
You should.
Yeah, we're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Almost done. I just want to make sure I get you guys everything that makes sense for you. Let me see. What else? If this thing speeds up. Oh yeah, I need to go to the banking. That's what it is. So I got the website, dialer. This property section, that's if you got inventory, like you're doing flips and renovate and rentals and all that stuff. This is just regular activity stuff, nothing crazy. Buyer and seller contacts, you can put all their information in there, your vendors and stuff. For example, let me show you guys, excuse me. So your vendors, your title companies, contractors, whoever it may be, Quick Trip, Walmart, Family Dollar, South Software, platforms, Canva, like everything that you use, Cheetah Lounge, everything that you use that you spend on, you want to add them as vendors because it comes into play when you are, working with your banking and your financials. So if you don't want to put your actual bank account on here, you don't have to. What I did initially was I created a dummy account, and the dummy account, I was just manually putting in the transactions, right? Which kind of kept me on track. But what I fucked up was I deleted my dummy account, and I ended up putting my other account on there, one of my business accounts on there, and it messed up all of my numbers on my deals. It messed up everything because now I have to go back through there and redo my accounting and stuff like that. So this is just one bank account from Chase that I have on here. I don't put everything on here, but this is just one account. You can connect, like I said, you can connect it, or you can do a test account, a dummy account. You don't necessarily have to put your real account on there, but you just kind of keep track of your transactions, as you go along. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's going to allow you to stay on top of your KPIs and make sure that your KPIs are correct. But my shit is a little jacked up. But the beautiful thing about it is everything is all in one area, right? Everything is all in one area. And then you have your reports. You can do your income statement, your general ledger, your balance sheet. You can see all these different things. Everything that your accountant would want to see is already there and already set up because you did a good job at keeping track of all your financials. Now, I still struggle with it, but if you're better than me and you're on top of it, then it's going to be way easier when it comes tax time. Let me see. And I think that's pretty much it of like the main things that I wanted to go over. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. What you got, Dennis?
Can you put your email in the chat one more time so that we could email you for those drips?
Yeah, for sure. I'll put it there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And then let me put it in now, actually. So, so anybody have any questions about anything? What you got,
I
Tom?
do.
Sure.
I was just gonna say, I'm so sorry. I don't remember how to raise my hand. I know you
Yeah.
asked us to do that.
It's all good. It's all good.
But I had two questions. The first one is, where do you get your leads that you then run through True People Search and ultimately put into REsimpli? What is the tool that you use? Because that looks like you might use a couple, and I was just curious that you end up skip tracing or using True People Search for and then marketing to.
So so when it comes to marketing to those, I only use True People Search for like one-offs, right? So if it's like
Okay.
I'm trying to find somebody particular because it's so time consuming. So like I don't use it for every lead because it takes so much time. So I just go ahead and skip trace it. But the only thing that I use True People Search for consistently is if I'm looking for buyers, right? So if I go to Propstream or if I look through the MLS and I see a LLC purchase this property cash for in the area that I got a deal in or whatever, then I'm gonna research that LLC, try to find out who the owner of that LLC is, and then I'm gonna get that contact through True People Search. That's usually how I go about doing that.
Okay. For when you're pulling your list, like your pre-foreclosure, your absentee, where are you pulling those leads from?
I pull those lists from the county. So specifically with the pre-foreclosures, if you look for foreclosing attorneys, a lot of
Oh, yeah.
times on the website they have the properties listed there.
Okay. I did note that from the call on Tuesday. So
Yeah, but
thank you.
primarily, and then also you can look at your local newspaper, right? Because every month, they're going to have to put out in the paper that the property is getting foreclosed on. So if you look at the newspaper in the city or in the county, a lot of times they have, it should be a website too. For Georgia, it's called georgiapublicnotice.com. So I can see all of the newspapers from each county, and they'll show all of the properties that are, up for foreclosure in the next month.
Okay. Thank you. And then my second question, and I don't know if you want to get to this, but was when you were in the dashboard, and it wasn't around the dashboard functionality, but I was just curious. For example, I saw you had 3 offers made this week. So my question is, for those offers, how long did it take? Was it like something that you cold called, maybe through a dialer or list stacking dialer, or that you put through a drip? Just because I'm trying to see what the most successful routes are.
Yeah, so let me see where they're at. What leads were these? I can tell you. So one of them obviously was just a test, but these two, I've been following up with this one for a while. She wasn't on a drip. I've been manually setting tasks to follow up with her. This guy, same thing. So these were like new leads that came in that I made contact with initially, and I manually set the task to follow up. I didn't put them on a drip. So it was just a matter of time for me to get back and make offers to them.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else? Anybody? Do you do one-on-one REsimpli training? I can. I don't offer
I
it,
got a
but I can.
question, Ty. You
What you
there?
got? What up, Rogelio?
Hey, what's up? So I'm thinking about switching a REsimpli or this CRM. How much is it costing you a month for
So
all this?
I'll be honest with you, I don't pay anything for it. I'm affiliated with
Oh,
them.
really?
Yeah, I don't pay
Oh,
anything for it. I'm
okay.
affiliated with them. But I'll show you the pricing right now. That's actually the next thing. Let me open this up for you.
Yeah, because the thing is, I have a lot of data, so that's why I use REsift. But with this, I mean, if I switch over to REsimpli, I wouldn't need REsift anymore. But the thing is, I know my cost is gonna go up because of you know, let's just say I have over 100K records skip traced,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to monitor.
So it just
So
depends on what you use it for,
Uh-huh.
right? So I use batch leads, right? So I think batch leads and REI Sift is kind of the same.
Yeah.
As far as like, I use batch leads more so to manage data. So what I'm doing with batch leads is I'm basically seeing if I skip trace this property already probably months ago, so I'm not skip tracing the same properties over and over and over again, spending extra
Right.
money. And then I'm also like sorting out, I'm sorting out, you know, which list I want to pull, which properties I want to upload. Maybe if I want to pull up, upload all my absentees to my marketing or whatever the case may be. I use that as kind of like my data management. And I think REI Sif is the same thing. This is more so like the CRM, where you already qualified these opportunities and now you're doing your nurturing phase and you're making your offers and following up. So I don't know how you would see, I don't know how recent REI Sif will fit into that. Probably similar to how I do it.
Yeah, I don't think it would be kind of worth putting like my whole data into the CRM, huh? It's just kind of better. I mean, I would prefer batch leads, just because the thing about RE,
you don't want to put all your data into you don't want to put all your data into this. You want to put leads into this. That's it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
that's where the list stacking comes from, huh?
Yeah, that's where the list stacking comes from. Yeah, because from list stacking, let's say, you know, if you want to upload lists like that, you can upload lists like that into list stacking, and then you can, the next phase after list stacking is turning them into leads in REsimpli. So you can do that by obviously using the list dialer, the dialer, the single line dialer to market to it. But if you already have leads in REI Sift or whatever your other CRM is, if you already have qualified leads, you can just upload the leads you can email REsimpli and have them import the leads for you.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that might be better then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Yep. Cool. How can I get affiliated with them? REsimpli.
I just guess you just sign up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but everything. So here's what it costs. So if you do the basic, if you do it yearly, $99 a month. If you do it monthly, I think it's $149. But here's what you get, right? One user, 2 phone numbers, 500 minutes, SMS included, 20,000 records you can upload. You can store 2,500 buyers and vendors. You get access to the drip campaigns and the lead dialer. So the lead dialer and the single line dialer is different. The lead dialer is just following up with the leads and making calls to a lead. The power dialer is completely different. The power dialer you would have to pay extra for. I think it's like $79 a month. But if, like I said, utilize this as just for following up with your leads, right? Following up with leads, nurturing qualified opportunities. Then you see, you know, the pro, same thing, right? And they kind of put it here, like you just getting started, kind of want to figure it out, all these different things. So I mean, you guys can read all this shit. I'm not gonna go through all this shit. I'm not, you know, I ain't come on here to sell you on the shit. I just came on here to show you how the shit work. What up, Tara? What you got?
So, you're a 1 or maybe 3 person company, is that right?
3. Yeah, I have me. I have a virtual assistant that does cold calling, and I have a virtual assistant that manages my data.
So how many, I'm just looking at the packages here. How many SMSs do you think you're realistically sending a month as a 3-person company?
Me is probably around, I would say probably around 3,000. Because of the amount of messages that I send with my drip campaigns, my drip automations and stuff like that. How many leads I have in my CRM in my system that I'm actively working. So it's going that I send probably around 3,000 per month. Now
So
somebody who
like
sends a lot more
account then.
Right. So somebody that sends a lot more, they're going to need a lot more. But at the same token, you can purchase you can add like credits basically. So if you need more, you can add credits.
Okay. So you don't have to upgrade the whole thing because you don't need all of that. I don't need like
Right. You don't
however
need to upgrade the whole thing. You can kind of you could just add credits. So let me show you that part. I don't know what screen you guys are
I
seeing.
think I actually used your trial to get this, like way back when, I don't know when you set it up before.
Oh yeah, you did?
Yeah, I think so.
It's $10 for 1,000 text messages when you add it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you can add, like I would say starting out, get the basic, the cheapest one. You know, don't overextend if you don't need to. I always say get the cheapest one first, and if you need more, then add more credits to it to kind of find out what that balance is or what you need. You know what I mean? So like, and it kind of shows you how much everything costs too. I think, am I sharing my screen? You see?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you know, if you call in is like 0.25 cents a minute. SMS is 0.01. You know, the e-sign document is 95 cents. And then one thing that I've seen they've been doing, they've been sending out emails to get free credits, and I've been taking advantage of it. Leave a review and you get free credits. Get 25 credits. I say, hey, send me those. Leave a review, send me those. But yeah, you can add towards it. Oh, and last thing I want to show you guys, I forgot the AI call transcript. This shit is dope. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I forgot all about that. This is one that they recently just rolled out too. Pretty dope. So like the AI call transcript is pretty cool, and I'm gonna show you why. So basically, when you have a conversation with a seller through here on the phone, right? Now you have to pay 1 credit for it, but let me see which one that I already have. So this one right here. So I had this call with her, and after the call, it left a summary, right? So it left a summary of what the call was about, right? So the summary says Ty offered Lockhart $220,000 for a property. She declined, stating her minimum accepted price is $235, $240. Ty agreed to negotiate with the underwriters and get back to her. It shows you the talk time analytics, who talked more, who talked less, lead qualification. So if you're going through your script and you're qualifying this lead, I already qualified it. So in this call, it doesn't have everything. But you know, if you're going through your script and you ask a question like, what has you thinking about selling? Then it's going to obviously put that there. Price expectations. She expects price between $235 and $240. Objection handling. Ms. Lockhart objected to the initial offer of $220, stating it was too low. How did we handle the objection raised by seller? Ty agreed to negotiate with the underwriters to meet Ms. Lockhart price expectations. Takeaway items. Ty needs to negotiate with underwriters, increase offer. Ty should get back to her with new offer by Monday. And she will not sign anything until she hear back from Ty. So this is cool because I don't have to listen to a 4-minute conversation, or hell, even a 30-minute conversation. If you have one, I can just go in here, look at the summary and see what the hell happened, go to the calls transcript, and I can see the script from everything that happened, the whole conversation, which is pretty fucking cool. I know a lot of other platforms are starting to implement that too, or already has, but this is pretty dope, I figured. But yeah, that's that. And then I'm gonna share this last thing, and then we can get you guys up out of here. So if you guys have not signed up yet, I recommend at least trying the free trial. Use my link. If you do decide to move forward with the platform after the trial, you'll get half off the first month, only with my link though. And then also when you do sign up with my link, you'll get all of my drip campaign templates and all that stuff too. They'll swap it out and take off the ones that they already had, or they might just add mines there and you just have to get rid of those. Because the ones that you use when you the ones that they have when you first sign up are a little bit dated. So it's a lot of terminology in there that will get flagged by carriers. So I went through and kind of tweaked it to make it make sense for now. But absolutely, if you want to sign up, use my link and then try the free trial. If you don't like it, cancel, and kind of go from there. But I think that is all I got for you guys. Any other questions about anything?
Yeah, so I like the last one. So basically, to sum it up, you're not using the CRM to market, or you can, but it's not like meant for that. It's
Correct.
basically meant for already qualified leads.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Correct.
So you're the data, you're calling it from like call tools or like another dial source, and basically you're importing those leads into this system and then doing it that way.
Yep, and you follow up and you nurture that way because you can set the tasks, you can set the drip automations, you can make your offers, you can send contracts, all that stuff.
Okay, got it. So like for like let's say you didn't have another like a multi-line dialer and you actually wanted to use this for marketing, how would you like structure that, I guess, in the most efficient manner?
So you can use, if you want to do dialing, you can use their single line dialer. And then when you get a lead, a qualified lead or opportunity, there's a button you can press to put convert to lead, and then they'll convert it to the lead here. If you want to use another marketing channel like SMS, then you're going to have to integrate it to this platform by using this thing called Zapier, which allows them to integrate the data from one platform to this platform. So it just really depends. You have to decide what your marketing strategy is, what best suits you. Do you have time to do cold calling? If not, well, shit, should I do SMS? Because I can easily manage that. So you have to identify what you want to work, what you want to do. Do I want to do direct mail? Do I have the budget for that? Shit like that. You have to kind of decide what best works for you. And then you'll determine, okay, what I need to do from that point.
Got you. Okay. And then last question I was going to ask, were you going to put your link in the chat, or do we have to just email you for?
Oh shit. Yeah, I should do that.
I use the free trial and I'm ready for like the full version. So
yeah, I can I'll email it to you guys. I'll email it to you guys with the video, with this whole recording. I'll email everything. And then if anybody has already has it and want my drip sequences and the campaigns and all that stuff, just reply to that email. That way I can get the tech support and talk to Danielle and tell them to add that to your account. So just reply to it. Just say, hey, I want the templates. Or I want the drip templates, or I want the drip campaigns. And then I'll connect you with Danielle. I'll do a group email, copy you in the emails and all that stuff, and make sure that she gets you set up.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything
I think
else?
this is really helpful, Ty. Thank you.
For sure. For sure. Anything I can do to help.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys have any other questions about it, don't be, shy. Don't hesitate to reach out. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm very active. You guys know that. So just feel free to holler at me. If anything I can do to help. If you got any other questions about it, I'll help you on it. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of you. Cool.
Cool. All right. Appreciate it, Ty.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. You guys have a good weekend. Be safe, and let's keep killing it, man. Let's keep killing it.
Let's do it. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Yep,
Thanks.
later.
Bye.